Dark Forest is a full course, almost 13 hours of training that will show you how to create a forest. But not the typical forest in which you have a few trees and plants in front of the camera, but a really huge forest in which you can float around with the camera and look at anywhere with it, and you won't see the limits of the forest, because apparently it's infinite. And here's the trick, apparently, because this course will show you how to start from the pre-production and think what you are gonna do, so you can organize it in a way that it will work exactly how you want it to work. And this way you can achieve a result in which apparently there are no limits. Actually there are, but as you have thought about them beforehand, you can control them. Now, the purpose of this series is not exactly to show you only how to do a forest. Even that's what's covered in the videos themselves. The idea is that from the essence of Dark Forest, you can extract a lot of knowledge that will help you develop any kind of project, especially for promotional videos or trailers and things like this, because the purpose of Dark Forest is to show you how to have a really huge scene in which you can fly with the camera and stop it at certain points to display some titles, which can be very useful for trailers and promotional videos, as I said. So the full process of creation of this scene has been recorded, and that's why it's so long, but the idea is that you can see the whole process while I explain it, while some little parts have been in time-lapse mode, because otherwise it would be really boring, right? Because there are some tasks that are really repetitive, but all the rest is everything step-by-step videos. Now, what you will find is a lot of different videos. Instead of having hours in the same video, you have different videos with several minutes in each one of them, so you can very easily find the part of the tutorial that you want to learn how to do, all right? Or if there is something that you have already controlled, you can jump to the next chapter, and there is no problem with that. The product is prepared in a way that you can reach the parts that you want very easily and fast. Dark Forest is crafted so it can fit in a single DVD, so you can burn it, and the downloads will include the covers that you can print if you want to save it and put it in your shelf or something like that. So you will get something like this. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, and this is the box, the disc cover, and there is also a little card with the chapters and list of videos and such. All right, so if you want to print it, you can do it and you can have it in your shelf. So before I say goodbye, I'd like to show you what the contents of Dark Forest are. So for that, I will jump into the computer. So these are basically the contents of the Dark Forest DVD, and as you can see, it's like there are 11 chapters, which altogether they are almost 13 hours of video tutorials. So as you can see, they are the chapters, and inside of each one of them you will find different videos. All right, they are all named and numbered, so you always see what you're going to do in each one of them, and the order in which you have to see them. And here, for example, we are in the second chapter, creating the terrain. And as you can see, you have how to create the terrain base, how to create tileable textures in Photoshop and in the GIMP. So you have the two options, and adding variations to the texture, creating the shader for the terrain, and two different methods of creating high resolution terrain. Now here you can see the third chapter of how to create the trees, the tree modeling, unwrapping, creating the texture base, the final texture, correcting the seams, sculpting. So as you can see, it's very complete, a lot of stuff going on. Here's how to create the different objects that are going to be in the scene, like the roots, the mushrooms, the stones, and the plants. So these ones are a little longer. This one, for example, I remember it's almost, here you can see it, 48 minutes, and this one is like should be 20 minutes. So as you can see, these ones are a little longer, and then you populate the forest. Then there is the camera animation, which if you saw the beginning of the trailer, there is an animation with the titles showing up and the camera flying through the forest. That is the actual result of the tutorial, and you will learn how to animate the camera like that, how to make it look like a little handheld, like it's like moving all the time, it's not completely static, or the movements are not completely perfect, which gives the animation a realistic effect. And also you will learn how to make that animation fit the music. All right, so that is very cool if you want to create your own trailers and stuff like that. Then you have how to populate the forest with all the details, lighting the scene, creating the render setup, And finally, the compositing stage, which you know, how to composite the mist, the glowing tests, color correction, final details and stuff. So yeah, these are basically all the tutorials. Now you have here the result of the tutorial in case you want to remember at some point what it will look like if you follow it correctly. And here you will get also this file, which is the covers, the images for the covers of the DVD in case you want to print it and place it in your nice shelf in your room or something like that. Okay, and finally there are the production files that I have here and compressed. Keep in mind that if you want to burn the DVD, you will get the instructions on how to do it, but the production files need to be compressed because otherwise they won't fit the DVD. Now here in the production files you will find all the Blender files. As you can see, they are all the same scene, but they are in different stages of the production. So basically, if you want to start from a specific point of the production, like I don't know, you don't want to create the terrain because you already know how to do it, so you can start right ahead on the tree model. Alright, they are named in the part of the process that they are created. Alright, so here for example you would start modeling the tree. Here, how to create the mushrooms and the stones. The camera animation is here. Here's the camera timing. And finally the compositing. This is the final scene ready to render. So depending on the part of the process that you want to start with, or if you want to just go ahead and check out how it looks like once it's done, here you have all the Blender files. Now keep in mind that when you have the production files in your computer extracted, you need to have the textures always together with the Blender files. Otherwise the Blender files won't find their textures. Here is the mind map that you saw, that you will see in the pre-production stage, so in case you want to check it out and follow all the chapters and stuff. Here's the sound, so you can load it into Blender and make the camera fit to it. So it's the Dark Forest soundtrack. And here are some textures that were used, I mean not some textures, every texture that is used in the tutorial is here. So here you have, for example, some of these textures that were created in the tutorials. The text. Here are some texture photos that I use as a base, so you can get them, use them for creating the ground textures, and if you want to create it to use them in your own projects, you can do it freely. Here are some tileable textures of the tutorial. These are the two textures of the ground, the variation, and some details with the stones. And finally the tree textures. So as you can see, this is a lot of stuff, and I really hope you like it. So as you can see, Dark Forest is a really huge thing. There is a lot of knowledge there waiting for you to learn it, and yeah, I really hope you like it. Enjoy and happy blending.